everybody. My name is Oscar Ornelas, and thank you so much for watching Blue Monday Live. This is episode 3 of season 2, and we're over here at Kenny Durham's backyard in East Austin, Texas. We're real grateful to have this space. It's a nice, wide open area where we get to make some music and make some noise. So quick shout out to Diverse Arts and Mr. Harold McMillan for letting us use this venue. For tonight's Blues History segment, we're going to be featuring the Skylark Lounge, which is a fantastic venue on Airport here in East Austin. And it's one of the venues that is very dear to me. It's where I got my start, primarily as playing a residency there since 2015. I filled in on some happy hours for one of my music mentors, Miss Margaret Wright, who was a guest on season 1 last year. So it was nice to talk to her. So we want to say thank you to Mr. Brendan Sanders for editing these Blues History segments. They've been fantastic to have each week. So it really is, I'm looking forward to seeing this next Blues History segment we have for you this evening. Now, our musical guest is going to be Bryce Powell, who's one of the go-to sidemen here in town. Wonderful keyboard player and guitar player, but he also can play some bass and drums. Really multi-versatile and really holds it down in all regards. So we'll get to know him better and got to know when he got to his start here in town. When I moved to Austin, Texas, he was the first person to put me up, and I slept on his couch for 2 months. So it was gonna be cool to catch up a little bit on that story as well, maybe. But we appreciate y'all watching. Make sure and go to my Patreon, go to OscarOrnelas.com for more information. And we're gonna kick this show off for you this evening. Thank you so much for watching.
We could do the rock one.
Yeah, whichever, yeah, we can play.
I mean, it is a blues show, so we should do some blues, right?
Yeah, right.
Sax solo number 2. I go.
Bryce Powell on that keyboards.
Over the last 2 weeks, this Blues History segment has covered a couple of historical venues, Antone's and the Victory Grill. Just as important as the history itself, though, is the preservation of those stories. The Skylark Lounge is a prime example of a location that wants to make sure the blues legacy in this town will always have a home. Located on Airport in the heart of East Austin, the venue opened its doors as the Skylark Lounge in 2013. However, the building had operated as a bar before Johnny Latouf decided to purchase it. Originally, it was known as the Airport Bar and Grill, a hangout for African Americans in the surrounding neighborhoods. It later reopened as a gay bar called Bernadette's, but closed again shortly after. Inspired by its rich history, Latouf decided to purchase the location to try to cater to some of the former clientele as well as expanding. One way that Latouf felt that he could appeal to that sense of diversity, as well as the neighborhood surrounding him, was to incorporate the local culture and the music scene. He attempted to achieve this by enlisting the help of Margaret Wright, a local blues performer who has been playing around Austin since Jim Crow. Her residency helped give the Skylark Lounge the reputation it has now as a home for blues. It's a place for artists like our very own Oscar Ornelas and for first season guest Miss Mac of Miss Mac and the Daddies to perform. It's also known to host open mics as well as comedy sets. While it's often referred to as a dive bar by today's standards, it feels much more like one of the historic juke joints that inspired it. The Skylark Lounge has only been here since 2013, but has an old soul that honors the East Austin that calls it home.
Hello, everybody. My name is Oscar Ornelas, and you're watching Blue Monday Live.
Okay.
We're sitting here with Bryce Powell today, who's a fantastic keyboard player
Thank
and
you.
guitar player, and also a classically trained drummer as well, correct?
Percussionist.
Percussionist.
Of sorts.
Yeah. So when did you get started playing music, Bryce?
Well, my parents bought a piano for my older sister who had started taking lessons.
Yeah.
And
How old were you then?
I must have been about 5 or 6,
Really?
probably in kindergarten. And I just immediately liked it. And
Did you learn how to read music in school?
I started with piano lessons. So,
okay, cool.
yeah, because we had the piano. So I took piano lessons, I think, starting in 2nd grade, maybe.
Nice.
Second or third grade.
That's what's up.
3rd grade, maybe.
What did you like? What do you remember learning first from piano?
Gosh, I don't.
Like for me, the C chord. Like that was
I guess
the first thing
learning
I
to read.
remember.
I mean, I did learn to read,
Yeah.
like,
So when you learn, do you still know how to read like piano charts?
sure, yeah.
Oh, nice. Renee, can you read bass clef?
Yeah.
Excellent, yeah. I started bass clef. I learned how to play cello in 6th grade, 6th and 7th grade. So I remember it. And
So
it
you
helps
started a bass clef first.
me. No, actually treble clef because I learned like in elementary school. Like
Okay.
we would do all the games. We had music class. So
Right,
we
right,
learned
right.
I learned all like it was really fun.
Right.
Then you'd have like the music memory stuff where you have to like remember classical music and stuff like that as well. So I had a lot of good times with that too.
Yeah.
So when you got started at 5 years old, you learned how to play music, you learned how to read. Moving on, so when you got to middle school, did
Yeah.
you advance anything else? I know because you eventually moved to guitar.
That's when I started doing percussion.
Percussion, that's right, yeah.
I really wanted to be a drummer,
Yeah.
and I guess everyone wanted to be a drummer. So,
Oh, yeah.
so they gave preference if you had piano lessons.
Excellent, yeah.
They would kind of give you first choice of being a
yeah.
percussionist in bands. So I went that route. I started trying to be a drummer,
And that was middle, yeah. Oh, so what middle in Abilene, Texas, right? You said.
Yeah.
So you started playing. When did you first play like a drum kit? Because
Oh,
Renee didn't
man.
play a drum kit till he was like 22.
I didn't. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I really badly wanted a drum kit, and so I would take my mom's like pots and pans and
Yeah.
stuff, and kind of
Oh yeah.
fashion my own
Yeah.
drum kit in the house. And but they weren't gonna let me have one or buy me one until I proved that I was real serious,
Yeah,
So I started taking private lessons in addition to doing it in
Yeah,
school,
yeah.
the school program.
Yeah.
So I didn't get in a drum set. My parents finally bought me one when I was in high school, and that
Nice.
was like so cool. I was thrilled, to have a drum set.
Yeah.
So when I was probably, I don't know, 16 or
Did you
something.
play any bands in high school with the drums?
Sure, man.
Oh,
Oh,
did
yeah.
you? Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
also, you're active in your church too as a child. Also, like, you play
I
a lot
was
of music in church.
in high school. As soon as I got that drum set, man,
Yeah.
I was playing with all kinds of bands, church bands, and
Yeah.
whoever I could.
See,
you
that's
know?
where I got my start. Like, I was 10 years old, and I learned how to play piano. I was playing 3 times a week, essentially. I started a little like by 8, but I knew how to read music. I remember
Right.
like learning the C chord. I taught I already knew how to read the music, and I knew where the keys were because of classes at school. So
Okay, right.
I put the 2 together. That's how I got there.
Right on.
But I'm horrible at reading treble clef and bass clef charts simultaneously. Like,
Yeah.
it's near impossible for me. I have to
Man,
take my time and write it out.
I'm not. I'm a little out of practice on sight reading,
Yeah.
but I can. If I spend enough time with a piece of music, I can read it.
Oh yeah. Do you play piano, Renee? Any?
Very little. I
Yeah.
mean, I
You
same-
marimba, though, right?
Same, exactly.
Yeah.
So same route. Did a lot of classical percussion. Played
Nice.
a lot of marimba, vibraphone. So
Yeah.
that's how I learned how to read. And marimba is also bass clef and treble clef.
So marching band. Did y'all
Marching
play?
band.
Do you marching band drums?
Oh, yeah.
What'd y'all play? What'd you play, Bryce?
Tenors.
Oh, like the
Yeah.
quads is what we
Yeah.
called. Or what'd y'all
Quads.
Me
have?
too.
Quints.
Same thing.
Oh no way.
Yeah.
I was a sax player. I was a nerd. Yeah. My brother got to play
Do some,
bass
do some
drum.
sweeps.
Oh yeah.
But I remember, Bryce, we were about 19, I want to say, when I first met you then. 2000. No, you're
God.
my age. So 2009, you were 21.
I was
23,
21, I
Something
think.
like that. Around about.
21 or 2, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you started playing with that band, Hunters and Gatherers, that's when I first saw you in San Angelo. You played Sealy Flats.
Yeah.
You'd play keyboard and guitar.
Right.
When did you start doing that? Because that was one thing I was.
That
pretty
was
cool. You rarely
just
saw
the
that.
natural thing that happened when we got together with the Hunters and Gatherers.
Yeah.
It's a trio, so we had a drummer, and Logan was the other member, and
Yeah,
he
Logan Pring. I remember that dude. Yeah.
has a great
Awesome singer
voice,
and bass
was the
player.
lead singer,
Yeah.
and knew how to play bass
That was
pretty
Singing
well.
and bass is not
And he
easy.
could do that at the same time,
Yeah.
So he had that, and so I would just try to fill in the gaps.
Oh, yeah.
And so depending on the song, it would be keyboard or guitar, just depending on what style, like what song we were doing,
Yeah.
But that was great fun for me, man, and it was
When
a
did y'all
challenge.
start that band, Hunters and Gatherers?
We started right after I graduated from college in 2008, I guess.
Yeah. How many? Y'all have a couple CDs too. I remember that, right? At least one.
There
right?
was one CD. Yeah.
One good one. I remember that. They were awesome because y'all come in and because I was young, and it's for Sealy Flats. Anybody who played there, like 40 and up, typically. It was the older crowd, the blues primarily stuff. So like seeing, it was nice to see your peers. And like when y'all
Right.
moved to Austin, I mean, like I said, the only reason I'm here is because like you, truthfully, like I slept on your couch.
Oh,
I needed a place to stay. But it was also like you explained to me how to do it, and I came here with realistic expectations about how to make money. And like you have
Yeah.
been one of the people who consistently stay busy. You make money. Like everybody loves you. You've done a good job. So just explain to me, like when you got here, how you learned to get to that level as being one of the hardest working, well-paid musicians in town.
I don't know if I deserve all that praise, but thank you.
Yeah.
I'm flattered. I think my strategy definitely is just make myself as versatile as possible.
Yeah.
My former band broke up,
Yeah.
Hunters and Gatherers, and I was just kind of wanted to be like a sideman.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to make myself like as versatile as possible so that I could fit into kind of any musical situation. And I figured that would give me longevity,
course.
because as artists go, there tend to be kind of fads, and it can be hit or miss. It can come and
Yeah.
go. But I figured like if I just make myself really versatile,
Oh yeah.
then,
No, man, and
then
I-
I
and
can
I've seen that
have
with you.
staying power.
I've seen you
know?
playing like straight up like honky tonk, like just red, the reddest necks you can find. That country music too. Like that, and then like, but also like hipster rock and roll. I don't know what else to call. I saw you play at the Parish one time, and like it was Bryce
Drums.
just playing
Played-
chords. You were just playing chords on a keyboard. And I was just like, man, Bryce can burn down that entire keyboard, but he's just doing this job, just holding it down. And that's the one thing I remember seeing. That was like my first year in Austin. I was like, sometimes you just gotta play the chords, just play your part.
course,
And I
yeah.
learned that because I was always flashy, and if when I play, I almost overplay at times. I can say that. But
mean-
it's like, but I learned from you to like when not to play, like how to play smoothly. I learned a lot, like that left hand work. Like I was a horrible left hand player too. So when you started playing piano, when did you start doing like your own trio work? When did you feel comfortable playing, like just holding it down on your own or the trio?
It took a while, man, honestly.
Yeah.
But I worked real hard on keyboard after I moved down here, and
There wasn't a lot of keyboard players.
it actually, yeah, it kind of came out of necessity on one side, and then the other side was I saw the guys that would play Hammond and stuff,
Yeah.
and I
Oh,
I
yeah.
wanted to do that because that was just
Red
seemed
Yogg.
so cool to me.
Man, so going back to like versatility, you're playing also when I first met you, when I was in Austin here, you were playing. I met Stephen Farmer in this band, Bus Stop Stallions.
Oh yeah, Bust Up. Yeah, great band.
I know, yeah, with Chris and all that, John Shea.
Yeah.
That was a really great band. There's a question though because they had your nickname, Stephen Farmer and John Shea.
My nickname?
Mr. Cornbread was John Shea, and then Baby Cakes for Stephen Farmer.
Oh,
Y'all
and
had weird like nicknames with each
Yeah.
other. So Matthew, who writes my questions, he wanted to know what was your nickname.
What was my Bust Up Stallions nickname?
Yeah. You had one.
It was Beebs, I think.
Oh, that's what Jared would call you. I remember
Yeah.
all the time now.
And it's just because I think Jared would call me that.
Yeah. Because Justin Bieber was.
Yeah.
So I mean, like coming into music though, you are an original composer as well, So
Sure.
like, what is like your approach, to the art of music? Because that is a very,
Wow.
it's a different side of it. There's the business side of it, which I know you've mastered, but like the artistic side of it, like how do you retain, that creativity when you're working that hard, chasing dollars? Because, it can be hard burning yourself out like that.
Well, I'm still trying to figure that balance out. Of course,
Yeah.
it's almost daily struggle,
Yeah.
Great question. I think about it a lot, but I think, I just try to make time to clear my mind from music, as weird as that sounds. Like, just like not listen to music for a while and do something else.
Yeah.
Work on a project or something that's unrelated, and then come back.
Renee, how do you retain your artistic creativity, while you're out there busting your chops, chop every day, hustling, trying to make money out there, working your job or playing 50 gigs a week,
Well, kind of like what Bryce said, I'll listen to a lot of podcasts.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just kind of remove myself from music for a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe if I'm interested in a particular musician or a particular style that week,
Yeah.
I'll dive into that while I'm working, or just kind of binge watch stuff online of that particular musician or whatever.
Renee, for you, man, like what's the important thing for you about the music community? Not just necessarily the blues, because I know you're all over the place now. So like, just why is it important to you to have the music families and connections you have?
Well, because I would imagine just like most industries, your network is your work. It's what
Yeah.
you do. It's how you maintain yourself, your livelihood,
Yeah.
and being able to work with different musicians and, building good relationships. I know I also tend to be really introverted. So for me, it can be difficult for me sometimes to like, really, really make strong connections. But
Yeah.
having these people around that, like you said, are a lot of times will be like your best friend if you haven't seen them for a couple of months, couple of years.
Oh yeah, and I mean, we were talking about this earlier too while we were here. Like we didn't really talk about this COVID thing one bit, but I will want to ask you. So we were discussing how like I'm introverted as well. Like the three of us have already expressed that. Like it's been weird, like just communicating with people. COVID, post-COVID, like this whole new world we're living in. So Bryce, what have been some ways that you have kept your sanity throughout this year? What have you been doing?
Gosh, I've been practicing
Yeah.
music. Like is my normal solace, you
Yeah.
know, but like I just been doubling down on that,
Yeah, that's what's
you
up.
know, and trying to remind myself also I have an awesome like Intex above ground swimming pool.
Nice.
That'll save you from anything, right?
That's-
there. Save your sanity.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
On a hot day like today, I'm probably right after this.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go take a dip
You can go watch Bryce in the pool.
in my
later on.
private little swimming pool.
All right. Well, we appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you so much, Bryce Powell. You
Yeah.
can check him out with Carrie Hudson and Good Company. What else? The
Sugar
Sugar
Trio.
Trio. That's his music. He writes this organ trio. Has Ryan Anderson on the guitar, John Duran on the drums. So check that out. Go to. He's not on Instagram. He's smart, but don't friend him on Facebook unless you know him. But thank you so much, Bryce. Thank you, Renee.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Thank y'all so much for watching Blue Monday Live. We're here with the one and only Bryce Powell at Kenny Durham's backyard. We're going to kick off this next song for y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. First saxophone solo I've taken it like 6 months, like that, something like long. That's also got to pick the key A too. Nice. That was fun. Hell yeah. All right, thank you so much for watching. That song there was called Cream and Sugar by Bryce Powell, and you can look that up on the Sugar Trio's album, Driving Music. So that's an album you can hear on all the music platforms online. Also, shout out to Brendan Sanders once again for making that Skylark Lounge video. Really excellent work he's doing. So I'm grateful to be having those featured on the show each week. And those are the segments that people comment the most about. They call me up about those. They talk to me about those. So I'm really grateful to be adding those each week in the segment, in the show. So thank you once again. Also, it's fun to be playing this music. So if you want to help support the show, go to OscarOrnelas.com. Find out how to support them through that Patreon. Go to my YouTube channel as well and subscribe to that. That's another big way to help me out, grow some subscribers there, and reach out this show. So next week, well, we'll be featuring some more music with Joe Segovia and have a really nice in-depth conversation I'm looking forward to having next week. So don't miss out. Subscribe to that channel. We'll see y'all next week. Thank you so much.
Come and go. Time has been so long, but every day I still dream of you. One time I lost my mind. I went out looking 'cause I thought I could find another love more precious than you. Now I'm in love with a woman that I don't even know. Well, I can't forget about her. She has some kind of soul. Well, lost is what I'm feeling when she slips from my mind. But something pulls me closer to this love I care.